Hey, hey, lovely people. Happy holidays, guys. Our art roast is officially starting. How's everyone doing? Have you been drawing over the holidays? Tell me the truth. Have you been drawing or have you been sitting on your hands and watching Netflix and just chilling? It's okay if it's the latter. We all need a bit of a break. So, guys, welcome in. Thanks for being here on this lovely Monday. It is bad out there, like really bad, windy and cold, and I almost, the wind almost blew me off my feet this morning. So I'm happy to be here, nice and warm. I see some new names in the chat. Welcome in, Sage and Alb453 and Sodium Nitrate. That's a cool name. Danny Washer. How does one send in their art? We have a submission form. So if you haven't joined our Discord yet, definitely do that. Join the Discord because the Discord is where everything happens. So be sure to, if you're an art nerd, to join our Discord and you'll know of all the different opportunities like these roasts. So there's going to be a second one for sure in the new year. So just join the Discord. And speaking of the Discord, guys, we have a Christmas giveaway. Let me show you how easy it is, okay, to enter this giveaway. We are going to be giving away amazing prizes like from some of our generous sponsors, like Rebel is giving away software valued at $150. We are giving away $200 gift cards, Amazon gift cards, and XP Pen prize packs. So if you haven't entered this giveaway yet, like just go on the server, find the Christmas giveaway. You'll see the event details right here. And then all you need to do is click the button and that's it. That's it, guys. As long as you are a member on the server, you will have a chance to win. So I believe that tomorrow is the last day to enter. So do get your submissions in if you haven't already. All right. And if you didn't know, our we are not just a YouTube channel. Our mission at Wing Canvas is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. So join us for free live stream lessons and roasts on YouTube every week and level up your skills with our community of art nerds. We are more than just a YouTube channel. We're an online school of illustration and visual storytelling, dedicated to helping artists turn their passion into income. So a huge shout out to our amazing students and members. I see some of you guys in here and our lovely mods, Evie and Vin. Nice of you to join us. But thank you so much for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork and watching you grow in our classes and weekly critiques. So if you want to dive deeper, join our Discord to access stream notes and demos, exclusive artwork, challenges, and more free resources to come help you improve. So come connect with fellow art nerds and get inspired. Okay. Yes. You know what? We got so many submissions today, and it literally took me like 2 hours to go through all of them. Over 100 submissions. So I'm gonna try to get through as many as I can. But before we do that, I want to show you some of the challenges. So, oh, you got a sneak peek of this one. But our monthly challenge. This month, we have a special challenge with XP Pen. They're having a contest called The Magic Mirror, The Journey Begins. And this contest ends on December 31st. And you can win some really cool prizes like digital art tablets. So if you haven't entered already, you still have 2 days. And we have some streams on the channel that Josh did to help you create an illustration and finish an illustration. So this month's challenge was storytelling, basically illustrating your interpretation of the magic mirror, The Journey Begins. And we have so many cool submissions that I want to share with you. This one is by Angel Archer. Angel Archer, what an amazing piece. I love seeing traditional stuff on the channel. And I think this is lovely. I love the composition. I really like the dragon and the reflection. It's so subtle, and you did a lovely job with the ripples. I think it's great. You said in your comments that it wasn't Christmassy enough. Well, you can fix that easily. Just put some lights on the reindeer. Antlers, maybe, you know, and then all you need is a little bit of red and green, and bam, you got yourself a Christmas illustration. Although I don't think you need it, but you could, and it's something that you could do digitally so that you don't ruin your original piece. Anyway, really, really great job, Angel Archer. Thank you for sharing, and I do hope you submit this. Okay, next submission is by Solace. Solace, this piece is so cool. This piece, I know, guys, this is supposed to be a roast, but I'm celebrating these submissions first. So lovely storytelling here. I really, really like the poses and the overall design of this piece. I think it's great, and good luck with your submission. I hope you do really well. All right, and last but not least, TF. TF is one of my students in Drawing Foundations, and we were working on this project together. And can you believe this is a whip? This is not finished, guys. This is a work in progress, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Look at the cookies there. Like, I zoomed in on the detail, and it looked delicious. And TF, if you're here in the chat, I think you have a good chance of winning, and I do hope you submit it and continue to update us on the Discord. Speaking of which, if you are one of our students or members on the Discord, you can get critiques. So be sure to check that out. We offer critiques from our instructors, both live and asynchronously, so you can get feedback on your artwork. So this is so good. There's so much to look at, and very ambitious to put the pine cones in the background because they're like one of the hardest things to paint, but I think you did a lovely job. So shout out to you, TF. And I hope you finish this illustration in time for the contest. So guys, the contest, let me show you here. You just go to XP Pen's website and you enter the drawing contest here. So pretty simple. We can put that in the chat for you if you're interested. And yeah, without further ado, guys, let's start the roast. Ooh, artists in chat. All right. So do you want to see mean Fei? I've been thinking about it. Like, I don't want to be mean, but I will be very direct here because it is a roast. So let's put our big boy pants on, big girl pants on, and all in the spirit of learning. Now we have so many submissions. I have at least a dozen that I've lined up here to go through with you all, and they are in order of submitted. So this piece, love seeing graphic design on the server. But this piece was the first submission. So, you know, first submission, you get to be shown first. This is by China Weaver. China Weaver, I'm just going to read the context here. This is a lineless drawing of an OC declaring it's a variant of Halloween called Fright Night. I've been struggling with how to shade lineless style and make each part stand out from each other. I feel some areas get too muddled and hard to read, especially once shading gets involved and can drive different colors into a more similar range. Okay. So, China. I think, you know what, like this poster, I gotta give it to you. It's very fun. It is something that, definitely you're onto something when you're saying, you know, how to make things stand out. Okay, so we want things to stand out. Stand out. How to create contrast. So I'm going to show you guys this trick that I like to do. And you know what? It's definitely, I'm going to be using it over and over again. But let me just show you here. So I created a new layer here. Okay. Just create a new layer on top of this. And we are going to color it white. We're going to color it white. And I'm just going to fill the entire canvas. Okay, so now that's white. Then I'm going to go down to the layer modes or blending modes palette. And we're going to put it on color. Okay. So this is a black and white filter. And I suggest everybody working on digital painting or digital art and completing it to create a black and white filter, because you can turn it on and off and you can easily check your values. So the first thing is, like, you kind of got you've got black letters on a black background, so you're relying on a white outline for contrast, right? Try not to rely on line. Whenever you rely on line too heavily, I'm just going to write this. Don't rely on lines for contrast. Sometimes when you're doing just line art, then you do need to rely on lines for contrast, but that's in a limited context, right? If you're relying on lines for contrast, it's not going to always go well for you. And I think that it's much better if you make the text a different color, right? Because like right now it's kind of, if I zoom way out, right, the text gets kind of lost. So two things I would do to critique any artwork is, one, create your black and white filter so you can see your values properly, and two, zoom way out, like zoom way out so that it's like a postage stamp. Now, you can't see the text at all. I kind of just see a blob of gray and some complex stuff at the top and the bottom, right? Like, I have to get it at least to that size before I can actually read it. So what I would do here is use a different color for your text, right? Or like simplify it so it's not so complicated behind it. Like, there's something really easy that you could do is you could just like select the actual text itself, right? Let's see. You can keep the white outline, but let's just turn the text a different color. So let's go up here. We'll turn off your black and white filter. Whatever color you want is up to you, but I'm just going to choose like a really high contrast color, like we could do yellow, or if you wanted to be more like the background, you could do like a brighter purple, let's say, right? And then you can just fill it all in. I'm doing this on a new layer, so there you go. So you can see that it's still now here, it's still not light enough, right? Because it's got all this stuff in the background. But being a different color, at least it starts to stand out a little bit more. So I would actually darken the background behind this so that the letters stand out even more. So you can do that with like a gradient, for example, right? If I created a gradient and I just like put this underneath. If you're going for contrast, you always want to think about how you're going to organize your values, right? So as soon as I put a, oh, I can't do that. Oh, because then it's going to go over the text. But let's see. What I could do is I could take a big airbrush. This is like the only time where I would use an airbrush. So I'd use a big airbrush and I would like darken the stuff behind the letters, right? And you can see you don't even need the white really to get that to stand out, right? So what's behind her doesn't really matter. It's more kind of interfering, right? Like I can't see her costume anyway. I can't see what she's wearing anyway. So if you want contrast, make sure that you are relying on value instead of lines. Okay, same thing with the hair. Like she looks like a big orange. Like if I just zoom out, she looks like a pumpkin head. She looks like a pumpkin with a face on it. Do you see that, guys? You see the pumpkin? And then I'm like, oh, okay, wait, she's not a pumpkin. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be a pumpkin or if her hair is based on a pumpkin. But right now her skin tone is exactly the same value. Or like very, very close to her hair, right? It disappears. Her eyebrows disappear. Her hair disappears. At least you got her eyes very high contrast, but like her hands disappear. Everything's kind of disappearing. So what do you do here? I always tell my students that you can create something called artificial contrast. I'm going to write it here because it's not really a formal term. It's just something that I made up. Okay. But I'm going to write it down because there's art in artificial. Remember, there's art in artificial. So artificial contrast is when you artificially boost the values. So what I did behind Fright Night was artificial contrast, right? So I'm gonna add some artificial contrast around her hair, which is like the most important part of this illustration, or this poster, right? So let's say that I select her hair here, which is orange, right? And then what I can do really quickly is use the gradient tool here, or use an airbrush, whatever works best for you. Let's do the airbrush because we have more control. And then you can just like select a value, like select this color, right? Go ahead, choose the color, and then you're just gonna shift it lighter. And when it gets lighter, it gets to be this kind of pale color. So we're gonna make it more yellow. Right, so you're gonna just shift the color, make it lighter and brighter in value. And then you can just like go in and you can like make the tip of her hair a little bit lighter around her skin, right? So you either make her hair lighter or you make her skin darker. Either way, it's the same thing. And then that's gonna help it stand out immediately, right? So something really simple that you can do, and I would do this to all of your values. I would do this to your fingers as well, because right now the fingers are not standing out behind the hair. So you either need to make the hands darker or the hair lighter. Okay, so artificial contrast is your friend, really easy to do, especially when you're tweaking your illustrations like this. And so let me just merge these layers so you can see the difference. Right, there you go. In terms of graphic design, like I think your border is really cute. I think your ghost is getting a bit lost there. So here's where you might need to rely on outlines, right? Especially if your poster is going to be on a white background. And typically when I design posters, I don't center everything right away because that's a very... there's nothing wrong with centering all the text. It's just a very, when I see it, it just feels like it was the first thing you tried. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do with text, but that might be a whole other stream. So if you're interested in graphic design, let us know in the comments. And we might do a lesson on layout and all that stuff. Yeah, the black and white filter is super, super helpful. Remember, values and shapes are the best ways to create contrast. Values and shapes, not lines, right? Rely less on lines. unless you're drawing a coloring book, or unless you're an animator. Then, you know, relying too heavily on lines can just kind of get in the way. All right, so I went easy on you China, since you were first and all, but hopefully this was helpful. All right. Next on the chopping board, EthanielDaniel. EthanielDaniel. EthanielDaniel, let me know if you are in the chat. And thank you very much, China, for being first and for putting yourself out there. Listen, roasts are not easy to stomach sometimes. So, you know, big round of applause for those of you who are brave enough to submit. All right. So, Angelica. Let's see here. So, EthanielDaniel says, I'm struggling with coloring, especially in the digital space. I feel comfortable with my anatomy and sketching skills. Always room for improvement, of course, but whenever I go to clean up my sketches and ink or color them in, they never feel as good as the finished sketch or what I see other people posting online. Okay, so first of all, stop comparing yourself with other people online, okay? Because you are not at the same level as the pros, and comparing yourself can sometimes make you feel bad about yourself. But if you look at someone's art and you're like, heck yeah, I want to be like them one day, you know? And I'm really, really gonna try my best, and I'm so inspired, like that's awesome. But if you find yourself kind of feeling depressed after looking at how good everybody is and feeling like you're never going to be good enough, then that's not really constructive. So don't compare yourself with others. At least don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle or end. Okay. Thank you so much, Kitty Karu, for the donation. You've been in the Wing Canvas community for about a year, and it's been changing, really been changing for your own art. Thank you for what you do. Oh, you're welcome. That's so sweet of you. Thank you for being part of our community. And thank you so much for the super chat. All right. Okay, so Angelica. I can't really tell how old your character is because they have children's proportions. So if you're here in the chat, let me know how old they're supposed to be. Because I'm gonna go back into proportion drawing all over again like I do with every single critique, because proportion seems like something that everybody struggles with. But the first thing I'm gonna write on here for you, EthanielDaniel, is let's get my brush, is one word: consistency. Consistency and proportions. These are the things, when I look at this piece, I'm like, you're super creative. You love characters and you're like really experimenting, you know, with different expressions and all that, but you need to get better at consistency and you got to go review your proportions. Okay. So I think with your proportions overall, like she looks like she's wearing a spacesuit. Like if she was wearing that armor, it would be hard to walk. This feels like me in snow pants with armor on top of it. You know, like like when you're a child and you have to wear snow pants and it's like you're just falling all over the place. This is she's yeah, I'm not sure if she's supposed to be in snow pants or a spacesuit, but she looks like she's gonna have trouble walking, especially if this is armor and this is metal. Like, if you've ever tried to wear metal shorts and tried to walk, that's not going well for anyone. So, I would consider studying armor. Because usually, like armor in the medieval ages, right? I've like gone and looked at the armor. They usually have like a hole or an opening here in the crotch so that you can actually move your legs, and you know, go to the bathroom if you need. So study armor design, and then like what is up with this like squid hand here? Like. What? I'm just gonna make this into a squid. There's like a little squid man on the back of her hand. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for that. Like the hands here look okay, right? They look like they're well insulated. But like come on now. Use your reference. You clearly did not use a proper reference. If you can't find a good reference, guys, use your own hands. You have 2 of them. You have digital cameras. Like, you can take a picture in less than 2 seconds and get exactly what you want. There's no excuse for squid hands. Okay? EthanielDaniel, your art is good, but it's only as good as your weakest link. Okay? So if your weakest link is drawing hands, you better study hands and draw 100 hands so that you can fix this this squid hand, okay, and level up your art. Because I think the rest of your drawings are, you know, pretty good, like pretty emotional, you know, like fun to look at. But yeah, no squid hands, no more of that. Here, like, okay. The other thing, the thing about tears, okay, is when you draw an eye, like let's say there's an eye, okay, tears usually pool on the side of the eye. You know, sometimes it gets a little drippy like in the front here, but that looks like eye poop, right? When there's like drips in the front, this just looks like there's some worms crawling out of her eyes, or there's some like little goblins going in her eye, or it's like eye poop from a serious infection. Yeah, so no eye poo, okay? Make sure that when you're drawing tears that it pools to the right part of the eye. And remember, if your eye tilts down, right, it's gonna pool like this. If your eye tilts up, right, like it might pool a little bit more in the middle here, right? But it has to do with the tilt of your eye. And also just physics. So yeah, no more goopy eyes for stylized tears. Just like watch some cartoons and how they draw tears and pay attention. More attention. This face is hilarious. Tell me you made that face in the mirror. Please. It's so good. Okay, one thing that I see that is like so common. I see everybody do this. They'll draw, and including my 3-year-old, okay? This is how my 3-year-old draws a face. Circle, eyes, nose, mouth, and then like eyebrows. Okay. So guys, I know that noses are in the middle of the face, but they do not, let me repeat, they do not interrupt the middle of the eyebrows. Okay? Don't do that. So noses actually visually will connect to your eyebrows. So if I drew like a dotted line here, and a dotted line here, right? Your nose will visually connect. Okay? So this here makes no sense. No anatomical sense. You might as well do what my 3-year-old does and like bring the nose all the way up to the middle of the forehead, because that's the anatomy that you're that you're showing me with your current drawing. So no need, okay, guys? Noses do not connect in between your eyebrows. They actually go to your eyebrow. Okay, so I'm gonna fix all your noses because it's a little painful to see. Okay, so you can stylize it however you want. But like this guy's eye is a little weird too, but I'm just going to help you fix it. Okay. Consistency. Remember, where do noses come from? This one actually like goes into the frown. So that one's actually working. Okay, that one works. This one, yeah, this one's problematic. So you either go all the way up like that if you want to stylize it, but that looks weird, doesn't it? Looks weird. Or you just like bring that, like just bring that bottom or the bridge of the nose down a little bit so it's not so weirdly in the middle. Let's see. Okay. These, we're gonna fix these. Let me know in the chat if you draw noses like this too. Please don't draw a sideways nose on a face that's facing the front. Why do that? Don't do that. Okay. You know how the Egyptians drew face, like all the Egyptian art was like face facing the side, body facing the front, hips facing the side. So try to stand like that and tell me how that feels. Not very natural. So please don't draw noses from the side on a front facing face. It is amateur. It screams amateur. Okay. Don't do that. Especially if you're building a portfolio. The other thing is like consistency. I'm going to point out one thing here. Okay. Aside from the noses is like the most basic type of consistency that you should be able to make is what is the distance between the eyes? Okay. Compared to the eye itself. So let's measure here. You got this eye, right? These two eyes are like, okay, they're decently decently the same size. Now look at this. Look at the width of this eyeball and the width of that eyeball. Like, what's wrong with her eye? She's gotta see a eye doctor. There's something wrong there. You have to at least make them consistent, okay? Consistency is, if you want to be an animator or character artist, you gotta work on your consistency. So make this pupil smaller or this iris smaller. Make this eye smaller, okay? Like, try to maintain the same amount of visual space between the eyes and between all the features in order to have consistency. Okay. So like this, too close together. Too close together. Let's see. This seems okay. This is also too close together. See what I mean? So go in and correct your consistency, work on your hands, take your own reference, fix the squid hand, please. And yeah, I think that's it for now. But EthanielDaniel, thank you for putting your work out there to be roasted. I think you have a really cool character. She just needs some refinement and some plastic surgery, but you know, she's gonna be great. Thank you for submitting. Very cute character. All right, so who is next? Who is next? Trix. Trix, are you here? Get in here. Trix, let me know if you're here. I've seen your art on the Discord a lot. You submit to our challenges and I featured your work. And yeah, I saw this and I saw your comment. So your comment is you're not sure about the tree structure in the bark and leaves, as well as the background, which is meant to be a very hot environment with lava and etc. And I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is Owl House fan art, right? Owl House. Now, I have never watched Owl House, but I'm going to Google an image of it. So at least I know what it is you're referencing. I really like the style of it, actually. Looks pretty good. Okay. So in the style of the Owl House, I don't know who these characters are. Is it Has Been Hotel fan art? Oh, I thought it was inspired by Owl House. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Because I have seen Has Been Hotel. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Let's see. So, when I saw this, my first reaction was like, it looks like a fever dream. Have you guys ever had a fever dream? You know, when you're like really sick and your body is like burning up with a fever and you have crazy dreams, like you sit up in the middle of the bed with your eyes wide open and you're like talking nonsense and it just like your dreams are all over the place. Yeah, this looks like a fever dream, but let me just do this real quick. Whoops, I made a copy. I didn't mean to do that. All right, I'm just going to cover up part of your drawing. Okay. So this right side looks really cool. Like this background, it's got texture. It's got like really cool colors, analogous palette, very nice composition, good grouping of the trees. Like this looks pretty great. Like, you know, this looks like simplified pro animation background art. Like it looks pretty awesome. But my friend, if I cover up the right side, this side is like, what is going on here? This looks really scary. It looks really scary. I don't know that that's a tree. And the characters are like stark white, so they look very flat. Can we match the left side and the right side so that they, you know, like the right side looks so good. It looks really good. Like even like Looney Tunes background art, like this kind of reminds me of that. But like, yeah, okay, so things that are wrong with this left side. Oh, the things that are wrong. So trees. Let's talk about trees for a second here. Tree structure. Okay, so there's no structure in this tree right now because you've kind of flattened it with the texture. So there are ways to simplify trees, but when you have, okay, I'm going to do this in green. When you have a trunk and your trunk is, give me a bigger brush, give me a bigger brush. Your trunk is this wide, okay? And then your branch is like wider than your trunk. This tree looks like it's gonna fall over, or it looks impossible. Like this is just not right. So, which is why it looks very weird, right? So what I would do here for your tree is I would at least make this branch smaller. So I'm going to follow your anatomy. Okay, so you've got this branch, you got this branch. This branch, we're going to pretend it's behind everything else, okay? And then we're going to end the tree, like we're going to end it so that it's not so wide down here at the bottom. So maybe like these two branches are in the foreground and this one back here is in the background. So structurally, this is part of a different branch that's coming behind that tree, right? How are you going to create that difference? Artificial contrast. You're going to go a little bit lighter, rely on your values like I showed you before, right? And yeah, it can be like a special tree, and you know, with like the texture on it, it looks really cool. But yes, it absolutely lacks structure. Like with trees, your worst enemy is doing this. Trees arms, legs, when you draw limbs of any kind, you need overlap. Where's the overlap, right? I don't know which branch is in front, which one is behind. This is telling me it's flat. Show me which branch is in front and which branch is behind. It's not hard to do. You can use lines, you can use values. But yeah, let's get this tree right first, right? Make it thicker, like just make it much thicker. You can bring this up a little higher, right? Fix this tree. Make it thinner. Thinner as it goes out. Now, like, this is like the most basic thing, guys, but I can't tell you how many people will draw arms and legs, limbs, or branches like this. And it's like, no, draw a tapered cylinder, okay? Things have to be narrower, okay, as they get to the ends, just like our fingers, okay? Our fingers are narrower as they get to the tips. So please don't draw cylinders without that taper. It doesn't make sense. As for the trees and the foliage, like, it's fine the way it is since it's so stylized. I like that you have like sort of a front curtain and a back curtain, right? In terms of the foliage, I think that's working out really well. Oh my gosh, somewhere out there, thank you so much for the donation. That is very generous of you. Please do more roasts. You'd love to join them. All right, cool. For sure. Happy to roast. And thank you for being such a great student and supporter of the channel. Okay. Yeah, exactly, right? I can't tell the ages or the I mean, I guess this is a female. I can't tell. I can't really tell if this is a human. The face is a little weird. Is that one bunny ear? Maybe I'm just not familiar with this character, but yeah, it's a little scary. So if somebody is standing in a pink room, okay, and they're completely white, they are either glowing or they were cut out and put on top of the background. You need to you need to use some color even if you have a white character, okay? So what I would do is just like put some pink tones in the character itself so it doesn't look so flat. I'm not going to do that here because I don't really have the time or the context for these characters. So here, again, you're relying on line. Like, you kind of just got a little lazy here and sketched out a line to say these are 2 legs versus showing me with values. And it's really important because, you know, you spent so much time designing this background. It looks amazing, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm just going to put in some of these sloppy, lazy lines here because I'm tired or I don't know what to do. Like, don't do that. You're like, you know, you're gonna make the whole painting or the whole drawing look lazy. So don't do that. Let's get rid of these for now. Let's fix it. Back to artificial contrast, okay? So you got a white character. Like, let's look at how white they are. Like they're like on the edge of this triangle, okay? Like, try to be at least somewhere here. Like, give them a little bit of color, right? But you've got like maximum contrast here on the pants. This is the only thing in the entire painting that's black. Why is it so dark? It doesn't need to be. Let's fix it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, like, you've got like maximum contrast right here. Right here. Whoops. This is where you want me to look. in this entire painting, like this, my eyes go here on her face and there on the pants, right? Is that really where you want me to look? If not, let's fix these pants. So we can just like choose something that's not so dark, and let's go back to this like reddish palette here, and like let's just give them some like neutral looking neutral looking pants. Whoops. Hold on. We gotta do it this way. Whoops. Okay, so this is gonna be really rough. And let's give it a color. We'll use the good old reliable paint bucket here. All right. So, where is this cover up going? Okay. Oh, lovely. All right, let's get rid of these lines. And the contrast in the pants. Like if I just got rid of that outline, now, you know, the pants don't stand out so much. They're still neutral. And like, I don't know if that's a tail, but that doesn't make sense anatomically. Like that, the tail does not come out of the side of the pants. The tail comes from behind the body, and it would be super awkward for them to be sitting on their tail like this. So either the tail, like right now, you're showing me that the tail is connecting. You're saying that it's like connecting to the belly button here, right? Like it's like connecting here. Whereas it should be, if these are the hips and then these are the legs, right? Those are the legs. The tail should be connecting at the bottom here, right? So just remember, it's connected in the wrong spot. So when you draw tails, don't just like connect it anywhere. Make sure that it actually makes sense. And then in terms of the pants, like you might need to get a seated reference just so it's not too difficult for you, but like I'm gonna show you a simple way that you can create artificial contrast. Go back to this airbrush tool here, and we're just gonna create like a little bit of contrast here, right? So wherever you want to create that contrast, just go on to the other side. And I love the lasso tool for this because it's just like, it's so easy to create that contrast quickly, right? The hips look a little weird here. It's not really connected to the body, but that's kind of how I would do it. Instead of being lazy and using white line, like it's okay if that's the style, but since you're going for a rendered look and you're telling me that you have trouble with shading and stuff, use values and rely less on line. That's like advice that I would give to most people learning how to paint. Okay. So yeah, tree anatomy, like I actually think the leaves are working pretty nicely, and I would really encourage you to look at Looney Tunes background art. Let me just find a reference for you, because there are ways that you can simplify trees to be almost like what you're doing here, right? Like I'm trying to find some examples to show you. I love Looney Tunes, like just the style of artwork. So something like this. Let's see if I can get it to show. Okay. Whoops. Okay, it's a little pixelated, but you can see like there's a lot you can get away with trees. Okay, you don't really have to have a lot of details in the leaves, but look at the structure of the tree. See how it's wider at the base, narrower at the top. See how the artist does not rely on lines to show form, but they're using lines to show texture instead. Look at the simple shading on the tree. Light on one side, dark on the other side. Bam, it feels 3D, right? You can go as stylized as you want. So I don't have any problems with the foliage. I have a problem with the structure of the tree trunks. So you can see this artist added some shadows, right? Very easily something that you can do. Okay, yes, and we have tree videos on our channel. Watch those. All right. Trix. I showed you my tricks. I want to see an updated piece because I think it's very interesting, and I actually love the style. I just think it needs some more work on the tree. All right. Thank you again for submitting. Ah, you're there. All right, cool. All right, great. So, next on the chopping board, Ingoboris. Ingoboris, are you here? All right. Ingoboris, I saw that you actually have a webcomic, which is pretty cool. And let me just read this. It says, these are some panels artwork from my webtoon. Colors seem muted, but also sometimes oversaturated. How do I make my art stand out more with color or rendering? Are my backgrounds too muted or white? Is line art too thin or thick? I have a lot of trouble choosing the right color palette. Okay, so first of all, at a glance, this looks pretty impressive. It's like, you know, the ultimate kind of like boyfriend art, and the background is nice. I like the colors. I like the neutral tone of everything. I like how the hair frames the faces. I like how heavy she feels, right? On sort of like, he's like holding her and caught by surprise. Like, I just like, overall, at a glance, it's pretty good. But here's the but. What is up with her arm? Like, she is either like super anorexic or she's got a noodle for an arm. Like, everything else looks amazing, but your weakest link is this arm. Like, this is a problem. First of all, hold up your arm, like just like hold it up and look at it. So you've got like accurate proportions in terms of, I say this to my students all the time, your hand should be the size of your face, right? Your hand should be the size of your face when it's open all the way up. And it is. Like, you have the hands, you know, roughly the size of her face, almost a little bigger. I mean, when you're drawing female hands versus male hands, right? You can kind of stylize the fingers a little bit. Like, if you want her hands to look a bit dainty, right? Or whatever, you can you know, you can certainly stylize the hands and make them a little bit pointier, right, at the top. Okay, so like this is fine to do to make the hand pointier, or to like add a nail or something, right, to like make her hand feel a little bit more feminine. Like, that's okay. Even making the fingers a little bit skinnier is okay. But like, what I have the problem with is the arm right now. Like, the arm or her wrist is thinner than the palm of her hand. Okay, so look at the palm of your hand. Feel it. My palm feels like what would you say the thickness is relative to your wrist, right? It's got more bones in it. It might be a little bit, you know, chunkier depending on how it's bent, but this arm is like way too small. Let's fix this arm here, like, so that she doesn't look sickly. Right, there's gonna be some folds here as she's bending her arm, right? There's gonna be like some folds. Doesn't matter how young you are, there's gonna be wrinkles. You'll need to correct this hand anatomy here. This finger has 2 joints. It looks like it's like this. The only finger that has 2 joints in your entire body are your thumbs. Okay, so make sure that these fingers need 3 joints. It like they need to have 3 joints. Okay. So if you're gonna make this part super bony and then the rest straight, it doesn't actually make sense. So make sure that you fix the hand. This hand is okay because it's covered. It doesn't look as weird. But this hand looks super weird. So we gotta make her hand or her forearm thicker. Okay, look at the thickness of her leg. Okay, now put your arm next to your leg and have a look at how thick it is. Right, just like compare it. You need to do this. Just compare it. So my arm is like roughly half to a little under a half, right? So this would be about half, right? This would be about half. And if you want to go thirds, right, you would need your arm to be at least a third to a half. Okay, so compare stuff. Compare your limbs, right? Beautiful illustration and like terrible anatomy flaw. Right, like this is gonna make the kind of break your entire drawing, so definitely should be fixed. I think otherwise there's also some issues with her chin because she's facing up, right? So we're actually gonna see the bottom of her chin versus versus not seeing any of her chin. So make sure you get that triangle in if you want to get that proper angle. It's mostly the arm that I had an issue with. So okay. Heavy says, I think another problem is biggest flaw is right by where you want to look. You want to look at their faces and you got a strange hand shape right there. Yeah, totally. Totally agree with that. Like this hand here, I know you're trying to stylize it, right? But it doesn't look very feminine. It kind of looks like a Joker hand, right? Like it kind of looks like a villain. Like villain hands are super long. They've got these bony wrists, right? Like her hand right now is like looks very comical, right? It looks very comical, whereas you want her hand to look more elegant, I assume, because, you know, to match her face and all. So I would not have these emphasize these joints as much, especially when there's no joints in this hand. So consistency, compare stuff. I actually really like the lighting here. I like the your sort of implied clothing folds. That's actually pretty good. So the hair is also really good. Yeah, so get on that anatomy. If you need to review anatomy, send us a message on the Discord. We'll send you some resources. All right, Ingoboris, thank you for submitting. I liked seeing your comic, and I know you submitted a whole bunch of stuff. Took me a while to go through everything, but I think this one showed your skill the most and also was the easiest to fix. All right. Next. Who is next on the chopping board? Olliejott. Olliejott. When I first saw this, I thought it was traditional. But upon closer look, it was digital. Just you have some nice texture going on here. Okay, so you wrote... Backgrounds are a struggle. Anatomy too. I just feel like there's so much that could be improved along with my lighting and my rendering process. Okay. So a couple things I want to say about this piece. First of all, it has a really nice narrative. And second of all, I didn't even see this mermaid. Like, I saw sea foam. I was like, okay, there's a guy sitting by the pier and there's a tsunami coming because, like, water should be self-leveling. And this looks like there's a huge wave and it's very scary looking. Either that or the water is merging over the horizon line and it's being weird. I saw this as sea foam with just like a bunch of seaweed because she's got no shadows. And like here you've got a person and overall they are darker in value, right? Then you got another person and overall she's lighter in value. And sometimes, just sometimes, you can get away with that in concept art, but not when things are so detailed and realistic like this. Okay, you can get away with two people being like different values when they're in the same plane, like they're both in the foreground, right? So naturally, if these people are both in the foreground, they should both be darker than the rest of the piece, instead of one person being super light, almost like looking like a cloud or part of the water, and another person looking really dark. Now, if that is your intention, there are a couple things that you can do, but let's put this black and white filter on first of all. Okay, look at this in black and white. What do you see? Do you see sea foam or do you see a mermaid? Like, let's zoom out some more. She doesn't look dimensional because she's kind of just like lying flat on the floor. There's no real shadows that's giving her any depth. Okay. And it's just kind of confusing looking. So what I would do here is, first of all, always check your values with your black and white filter, right? What stands out the most here is this guy, which is good, right? And the clouds. The clouds have a lot of contrast, and the clouds kind of look like the shape of your mermaid here. So that's why my brain is like looking at this and saying, oh, this is a cloud. It must be like a thing that's like foamy coming out of the sea foam or whatever this is, right? And then this is just like super distracting. Now let's look at some crashing waves, okay? Because I don't know if you got reference for this. It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell if you used a reference or if you even looked at water. Tell me if you looked at water or if you just like tried to make this up, okay? Did you try to make this up? Because you shouldn't. If you don't know how to draw things properly, or even when you do know how to draw things properly, having a reference is essential. Don't be shy or be embarrassed to use references. Like, this is how you learn and this is how you improve your visual library. Okay, so let's look at some waves here. These are crashing ocean waves. Okay, so yeah, you're guilty of not using references. Ha! I called it. I knew it. I knew it. If you had just took 2 minutes to Google crashing waves, okay, you would know how to fix this piece. So first of all, I assume that this in the background here, these are supposed to be mountains, right? Is that supposed to be water or is this supposed to be mountains? Because I have no clue. I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to do this. So first of all, your dock or whatever this is not standing out well against your background, right? So what I would do is I would lower the horizon line a little bit or make the horizon line higher and make the water a little bit lighter. But this is getting lost in the black and white. And so I think what you could do is, like, let's say we made the horizon line. Let's say here. I'm just gonna freehand this. So first of all, we need to make your water level. Okay, we need to make your water level. Now, if I make your water level, it's gonna go right up against this thing, almost like a visual tangent. So what I'm gonna do here is, let's just select your water. Hold on. I'm gonna select your water here, and then I'm going to remove this stuff and make it level. Okay. And then I'm gonna use, guess what? Artificial contrast. I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna make it, we can make it a little darker, we can make it a little lighter, it's up to you, but let's make it a little bit lighter. So I'm just gonna take off this black and white filter so I can actually get the right color. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make that background island lighter in value. Okay, so I'm gonna select the value of your quote-unquote water, right? And we're gonna go a little lighter, like there, and then we're just gonna paint it in with a big brush. Let's use an airbrush, go really big, and let's just make it a little lighter. Over here, it's gonna need to be even lighter, right? Because the background or the water below it needs to be darker. So now you've got level water and mountains or something in the background. However, your dock is like way too close to that horizon line. Like this is called a big tangent right here. So you'll need to level your water and move. I really hope that this element here in the background is on a separate layer so that you can move it up or down. Right now it's super awkward where it is, and I don't know what it is. It looks like a railing, but if it's supposed to be a dock that someone can actually stand on, then it's crooked. And if the horizon line is what I made it, then technically speaking, if this is on a slant, you would see a little bit of the top. Anything below the horizon line, you would see the top of, right? And anything above the horizon line, you would see the bottom of. So you'll have to fix that tangent. And then your mermaid, okay, needs some work. So if I zoom in on your mer creature here, okay, it may not be a mermaid. I can't really tell the gender, but I'm assuming it's a mermaid. You've got like really nice texture here, but she looks super flat and she doesn't look like she's interacting with the water. Go like look at the Little Mermaid. Let's look at some cartoons. I love the Little Mermaid. Like, just look at how Disney creators illustrate water, right? Like, look at what has worked before and use your references wisely. The reason why I look at cartoons is because cartoons have a way of simplifying things in a really, really easy way. Okay, so here we're gonna look at Ariel, right? Look at the water. Look at how if she's coming out of the water, there would be water coming out of her hair, right? Kind of like on her body, and it's pretty random, right? Versus yours, she's completely dry. Just her fin is in the water, and it's like there's nothing going on here. So what I would do is I would bring the waves up a little bit higher on her body. So I'm not going to do a draw over, but I'm going to recommend that you have like waves, right? Kind of like interacting with this rock here, that you would have, you know, some water that's kind of like pooling under her, and then add some shadows underneath her. Okay, to make her really feel like she's coming out of the scene. And also, this person's really dark, like their eyes are dark, their hair is dark, their skin is dark, so it's just like hard to see them. Overall is just, I think that you could add more contrast. And also they have terrible posture. Like when I draw old people, I draw them like this. But like if this person is supposed to be younger, let me just fix your terrible posture with this person here. Okay. Let's fix them. I'm just gonna chop off their head. Excuse me. And let's like give them a proper neck, shall we? Shall we? Let's pretend that they actually have a neck. And right, give them some like better posture. Now they look more relaxed, right? Here they look like woo. I love this. Hey, sit up straight. Okay. Posture, guys. All right, that looks more relaxed. Anyway, use artificial contrast. Like right now, this person looks like they're wearing a white shirt, but you made it really dark. So it's kind of like the same color as the sand, which can work. But like right now, there's just like a lot of stuff happening. Like there's just, these elements are too close. The head is too close. It's like barely overlapping this, and this is like right touching the horizon line. So I know I made some changes, but like we have to deal with this. So bring the dock a little lower so that you can actually see the top of the dock, right? And it actually looks like a dock, right? Instead of like a random railing floating in the water. And for the waves, like the waves kind of have to make more sense. You want an area that's like splashy, right? Like when waves go against rock, they will splash and they make this misty stuff. So you can go in and add some of this white stuff, right? Go in and add some of the mist like behind him. Woo! Big crashing wave, lots of drama, right? And then if you do that, it's gonna create more contrast around this character here. And then the same thing with your mermaid, right? Find a mermaid in water. Like look at how, like back to Ariel here, look at how the water interacts around her body like this, right? With rings. Just like copy this exact shape. Whatever you need to do. Like it's pretty random. And look for references. Okay? Remember that your horizon line is always going to be straight and that water is self-leveling. If you ever see water that kind of looks like your illustration, run for your life. Probably a tsunami. Ha ha ha. Okay. So, Olliejott, thank you for putting yourself out there and submitting your artwork. Good luck with the piece. And do share it when you're done. I will post my notes for everybody on the Discord. Okay, who's next? Quikwo. Let me know if you're in the chat. Quikwo. These are the last pages of a comic I made in order to improve for a bigger comic I have in mind. But I don't think the composition is done right or could be better. So that's why I posted it here to be roasted. All right. Well, it's roast time. Quikwo. First of all, what is this? Like, what am I looking at there? I have no idea what is going on. This is supposed to be the last panel, right? And then this is the second last panel. So is this character melting into the sunlight? Are they turning into a barcode? What is going on here? I am so confused. I'm like, this is your finale. Like, your last panel is the payoff. This is not confusing me is not a good payoff. I am so confused. I have no idea what's going on. So, in terms of your comic, like, don't be fancy with the text. I can't read this. Like, if I was looking at this comic like this, right, it's zoomed in my screen. Like, this is the biggest I can have on my XP pen. I have a 24-inch XP pen, and I still have to zoom in to look at whatever it is you're saying. Don't be fancy with your text. If you want to get fancy, you can get fancy with, like, the big words. Like, this is okay. I understand, and I can read what that says. The M looks like kind of like an H, right? I don't know if it's an M or if it's an H, so don't use confusing fonts. Like, don't get fancy. What is the most important thing? The story. Allow people to read it without feeling terribly like they have bad vision, or they have to squint, or they have to, it makes it so difficult for them to read. Rule number 1 of graphic design is that form follows function. You are drawing a story. You're illustrating a story. It has text. Okay? The text needs to be readable. So right now your text is way too small. It needs to be on 2 lines, right? ... You two took your breakfast? ? You cleaned everything? Should be on 2 lines. Muna, we're ready to go to school. Okay. Yes, this one's okay. This one's okay. I was going to. I'm sure you were. Okay, and then blinds, shutters. This I actually quite like. This is pretty dramatic. But it also is a little confusing because, like, I can't tell what this is. Is this an eye that's, like, behind hair? Or what is that? I think this is the eye. And this is the nose thing, maybe? Maybe. Like, what is that? Get rid of it. It's confusing. I like the effects, though. Like, this looks actually pretty cool. Okay, so the other thing that I think you could do better is there's like no contrast. Like, I know it's supposed to be dark. I know it's supposed to be nighttime, but like, it's very hard to read. You can't see the silhouette of the person. Let's turn on this handy dandy black and white filter and see what we're dealing with here. Like, without the color, it's really hard. And let me tell you something, as a graphic designer, once upon a time, I had to go to press approvals. Do you guys know what a press approval is? It's like I had to go to the physical printing press to approve the colors on the page and make sure that it's exactly what it appears like on screen. So when your values are too close or your colors are too close, it may not print the way you want, and it may just all blend together and look like a muddy pile of stuff. So make sure that your colors have enough contrast, right? Color contrast, as in hue, as well as value contrast, okay, as in tone. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy with how it looks on various screens. Okay, so again, artificial contrast is your friend. All you need to do is select, just like select her silhouette, right? You can see how rough I'm being with it. Select her silhouette, find your purple, get a brighter purple, and you can, if you want to be lazy, you can use the gradient tool. Like, right? Now, there's a little bit more contrast. Yay! It took like 2 seconds. You can do this, okay? And then, like, I know you're using lines, but, like, these lines look like... they don't really look like action lines. Action lines... like, I'm not really sure what she's expressing here. Like, I'm not... I don't know if she's growing a pair of wings behind her. Or, like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, here she's calmed down a little bit. I think she needs more contrast. She's wearing a purple sweater. She's got purple hair, and she's in a purple room. You've really set yourself up to win here. Here, like, I think her face could be way bigger. Like, you have so much empty space. You have way too much space here, for her tiny little face. So if you wanted more visual interest, more emotion, let's cut off her head. Let's cut off her head. And let's make it way bigger. And then let's do some erasing. And strategic erasing, right? We're gonna... I assume you use the shape tool to draw your speech bubbles. Okay, that's way better. Fill the space. Fill the space with her emotions. Let me see, like, let me see the pain in her eyes. You can even, you know, give her like some highlights in her eyes, or whatever it is you need to do to show that emotion. Get way bigger. In all of these panels, she's the same size. It's boring, really boring, right? Like, there's so many things you can do here to make it a lot more interesting. Here, you can just show half of her face, right? Like, maybe over here, you know, what can you do to make this whole comic more interesting? Like, maybe here, you know, you just show a little bit, but her face is bigger. I think that variety and contrast is really going to help you with your story. Okay, so 3 things. Don't get fancy with your font. Use a font that's easy to read, please. Also, don't write in all caps if you're going to write paragraphs. All caps are harder to read than sentence case, so use sentence case. And, like, put some more effort into this last panel because it looks like a fried barcode, okay? This is the payoff of the story, and it's not paying off. Whew. All right. Quikwo. Thank you for submitting your artwork. Big round of applause for you. And hope that you get to finish this comic epically. All right. Dan. Dan is next. Dan, let me know if you're in the chat. Cool illustration. All right, let's see here. Dan says, it was meant to be a profile picture for social media, but I got a little too carried away with it. Love it. I was wondering if the broken glass reflections are accurate. Also, lighting needs some work. Okay, Dan. Here we go. Let's create a new fresh layer just for you. First of all, broken glass, I didn't even notice. I did not even notice the broken glass because it is not shiny enough. It doesn't have enough values. It doesn't disrupt the picture enough. So if you want to talk about glass, can you hear me typing? Do you know what that means? Do you know what I'm searching for? Starts with a big R. One of my favorite shows is called Black Mirror. It's on Netflix. It's I love like dystopian sci-fis. Let me know in the chat if you've seen it. But it has this like cracking mirror in the intro every time, and it's like it's so good. I can remember the sound effect, like the sound effect. So I'm very familiar with broken mirrors or broken glass. So when you're trying to illustrate broken glass, I'm trying to find a good example to show you here. It has a lot more reflections than you currently are illustrating. So let's look at, I'm trying to find like glass that has something in the background so that you can actually see how it reflects stuff. But here's an example, okay, of broken glass. So you'll notice with broken glass that one kind of looks like a spider web. It has a area of impact, right? It reflects color. Now, if it's just behind white, glass has a green tinge to it, right? So here it makes sense that it's green. However, it also has very high contrast. Look at how dark the darks are and look at how light the lights are, right? Lights on one side, darks on the other side, and some green here. Now let's go back to your piece. Okay. I don't even see the area of impact. This doesn't look like it's smashed glass. There's no impact here. This just looks like like I don't know what it I don't really know what it looks like. It looks like maybe like pieces of glass put together carefully. You're missing that area of impact, right? So I'm not sure if you actually looked for a reference. I'm gonna guess you didn't, because you're gonna start to see that I do the exact same thing for every person that I roast. It's like contrast. Here's how you create contrast. Reference. Why does this look so weird? Because you didn't look at a reference. Oh, I sound like a broken record sometimes, but I swear it's the same things over and over again. So let's make this actually look like glass, shall we? Let's take some white and let's just like create. You can be like super, super messy with it. These need to be broken lines, right? You need an area of impact. Let me see that, like where is that impact? I don't see it at all. It's like so subtle. Like somebody carefully cut stuff out of glass, right? It doesn't work that way, right? All you need is a little bit more contrast. There you go. So see, that took 2 seconds, right? If you want to add color to it, you can, but it doesn't really matter. It's not about the reflections. It's more about the action that you're missing. Okay. And then like there are simple things that you can do here by using the lasso tool. Right? Like let's say I just select this as a shard of glass. I can do the old gradient trick that I showed you guys already like 10 times, right? Boom. There you go. Okay. Now it's a little bit more visible. So you can do that very easily. Go ahead and just like select. Whoops. Do the same thing I just did. Okay, so there, we fixed your glass a little bit. But like, Dan, do you have a chin? Look at your chin. First of all, I'm sorry if you don't, but, you know, I'm guessing that 99% of the chances that you do have a chin, whether it's big or small, you have one. And why don't your characters have chins? Like it just kind of like disappears. So there's several things, questionable things here that I feel the need to point out. The lack of chin is disturbing. Please don't forget about the chins. So one thing that you can do that's like super easy is you can just make the chin darker and like it's gonna look like a chin. So let's choose this color. It's gray. Her neck is gray. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's make it darker. Let's make it a little bit more human looking. Give it some color. Let's add a gradient here. Oh my goodness. Oh, way better. Oh my goodness. Okay, now she has a chin. Whew. And a neck. But like, wait! What's up with her neck? What is up with the neck? Guys, this is another thing that I see 100 million times, okay? When I teach head drawing. Necks do not go straight up and down. Okay? If you have a head, let me redraw that. If you have a head and it looks remotely 3D, okay? The neck does not do this. It does not go straight up and down. It is always on an angle. Blue Nova says we appreciate your hard work. Ah, thank you, Blue Nova. I have your artwork on the list. We'll see if we get to it because you did submit a little bit later. And we're going in order, but I did choose your artwork. Okay, necks do not go up and down. They taper towards the back. Please, please, please don't make necks go up and down. They look silly. They look silly. And like this neck, what is going on here? It's so thick. Like, so thick. I assume that this is a little girl. She looks like a little girl because her head is huge and her shoulders are small and she's got this like little girl look. Okay, so artists in the chat, are you there? If you're there, let me know her age and I will make adjustments as needed. But first of all, let's give her some, can we give her some shoulders and like a neck that doesn't look like she's like her neck right now looks like she's a bodybuilder, you know, like just super, super thick. Her neck should end about here. You see how I'm drawing like this? Okay. So let's give her some shoulders, please. Please. Better shoulders. I'm gonna draw as fast as I can. Fix as fast as I can. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay. And this background. Let's make her look a little less like a bodybuilder. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness. Oof. That's better. Oh my goodness. Okay, now let's create some separation between her neck and her collar. Okay, guess what I'm gonna do? Add artificial contrast. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Let's do it here. Let's do it on the collar instead. Okay, let's take this lovely white that you made and our lovely gradient tool. And we'll do this. You can even do the bottom if you're feeling lazy. There you go. Look at that. Oh my goodness. She has a neck. Woohoo. Okay. Next thing here. Like, what is up with her mouth? Her mouth has like no form. Yeah, this is a problem here. Like, just either give her no mouth, which she doesn't have anyways, but like right now I see this shadow here as the mouth. I see the shadow here. So like, wait. I'm like, wait, where is her mouth? Why is this line so thin? Danny! Artist in the chat. Woo! Okay, so she's 17. Gotcha. Okay. You had no idea what you were doing, but you didn't find reference, my friend. My friend. Let's learn how to draw a mouth, okay? Now, I do gotta say your rendering is pretty good. Like the hair, like that looks pretty good. The fire looks pretty good. You got a glow going on here. Like the gold necklace looks pretty good. Yeah, but like, okay, you've got a mouth problem now. Let's fix the mouth. So you have the right idea, giving some shading to the lower lip, but like you either need to make the line of her mouth more visible, which is probably easier to do. So let's select this color and let's just make that line a little thicker. Okay, just a little thicker. If you want to be cute, you can make the corners of her mouth a little bit thicker, right? Oh, there you go. Like, that's it. Look, done. Now she has a mouth. Let's do the same thing with this guy over here. Let's rescue him. Let's give him a mouth too. And then for consistency, we're going to give him a little bit of a shadow as well. Right there. Except his nose is like on a different plane than his mouth now. So that nose is also, you know what? I think it's easier to move the mouth in this case than it is the nose. But when you're drawing a nose, especially like this, first of all, he's facing down, right? So when you're looking at somebody from above, you're not going to see their nostrils, right? Because their nostrils are below them. So think of it like this. If you draw a face, okay, and your face is, or like, I'm just simplifying it as a block. Okay, so let's say you're looking down at this face, okay? If you're looking down, then everything is going to curve down. So then if I turn this into a face like this, right, the lines of the nose, the lines of the mouth, and the line of the eyes are all going to curve up, right? So what that means is that the nose, you're only going to see like the tip of the nose, really, right? You're not going to see the nostrils. On girls, like the upturned nose thing is a thing on anime style girls, but on the guys it looks a little funky there. So let's just like make the nose a little bit more a little more subtle. So you could draw like a triangle, you know, like something like that, and it would look a little less weird. Or you can just kind of like go with something like this, right? If you want to be really stylized with it, and sort of simple, like you have a super rendered nose. Like this nose is like, it's outlined, it's got the nostrils, it's got the shading, and it's like, you know, and then the mouth is just like neglected. So whatever you do, be consistent. Okay. use the same amount of detail for the nose as the mouth in general terms, because that's really what's going to make things look more unified as a whole. All right. All right, Danny. There's some other things that are kind of wrong with this. You know, like you did not get a reference for a playing card. You just kind of made it up. Let me tell you something. The heart needs to be in the middle. This bugs me so much. I'm sorry, but this shouldn't, this like, put the heart in the middle. And like, don't run into like this. Hold on, let me take like a bright color. This, what's going on there? The A is like moving off the card. Make sure that there's space around everything. There is something called safety lines in graphic design. It means that you never put your letters too close to the edge because they're going to get cropped off, or they might get accidentally cropped. Okay? Fix the card, please. Please. And thank you. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. I really like the neon lights in the back. That's really, really cool. Yeah, give that A space to breathe. Word. All right. Let's see how many. Dan. All right. Who's next? Oh, we got a lot to go through still. Rata. Rata, are you there in the chat? And Dan, if you didn't know what you were doing, you did a good job. You did a good job. You really did. If you said you had no idea what you were doing, then all you need to do is reference, and yeah, you'll be good. This is really nice. So I'm gonna go a little bit harder on you. This, I can tell that you have experience here, but like composition wise, I'm not gonna do any draw overs or anything like this. I'm just gonna comment on what I see in the composition. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but there is a type of composition called a approximate symmetry. And if you watch our video series on composition that was released not so long ago, you're gonna see that this piece is very symmetrical, but not exactly, right? So it's actually called approximate. It's called approximate symmetry. Okay? What approximate symmetry means is that it's like pretty much symmetrical on both sides, but the elements are different, right? If you're going to use approximate symmetry, there needs to be more of a narrative that kind of connects them. Right now, I'm going to tell you what I see, okay? When I zoom way out, I see a wolf face. And I'm like, is that intentional? Do you guys see a wolf? Do you guys see a wolf? This is the nose over here, the eyes, that's the mouth. Right? I feel like you're kind of like making an optical illusion, and I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do or if it was unintentional. But there's a lot going on here. There's like people facing the eyes. There's people facing us. They're all kind of facing in different directions. This kind of looks like a movie poster. And then there's like one person down here. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's happening, and I don't know. So it feels like you just kind of like took a bunch of characters and just like put them in a place that kind of felt balanced and just kept adding to it. And although this sometimes works out, and this can sometimes be fun with montages and stuff like that, it's not actually the best approach. The best approach is to really simplify your thumbnail and look at it from a distance. Okay. If I look at it like this, I just see a bunch of people making a wolf face. So the wolf face to me is like, what's up with the wolf face, right? That's like the first thing I see. And then I start to see like these other people. So it looks pretty cool as an optical illusion, but I am not sure whether it's intentional or not. So I'm going to leave you with that. I thought it was important for you guys to all see a more complex composition, so that you can kind of see that no one can get away from the heat here. I just think it's very awkward as a composition. And optical illusions are meant to be awkward. So if it's supposed to be an optical illusion, you did a great job. If it's not supposed to be an optical illusion, then you might need to do something about this wolf face. Because it cannot be unseen. Exactly. Okay, Rata. Thanks for submitting. Teeth. Teeth. Get in here if you're here. Oh my gosh, so much to say about this piece. Oh my gosh, where do I start? She looks... The anatomy on this person looks really weird. I know that she's supposed to be... Hang on. The veins in the background. Hold on. This is an artwork of a Limbus Company fan character I made distorting. A person who haunts the narrative convinces them to go insane. Okay, so she's insane. So her body is like supposed to be insane looking. Okay. I worked hard on cell shading and lighting here, and this was the first time I'd figure out how to properly do cell shading that worked with my shaky hands. Congratulations. That's hard to do. The veins in the background, which was initially a black void. Okay, so you put it there to give it some visual interest. To leave him alone with a bulletin board are due to him being based on Quincy Morris's from Dracula. The bulletin board has both newspaper clippings detailing his failings and resources to hunt vampires, or blood fiends as Limbus calls them. I erased bits of the background and used the negative space and shaped light to imply the shape of Carmen in the foreground. I know my hands are rough. I was looking for an overall direction of where to go when I study art in the future. Besides that, I'll be working on it soon. Okay. So first of all, she looks like she's on fire, and it's a very unsettling picture. And I think, you know, part of it is meant to be unsettling. I don't actually have a problem with the hand. I think the hand is fine. Like, let me tell you a secret. If you can get your artwork to be like 80% believable, the 20% people won't even see. They won't even realize it. So you might be like fretting over, oh my gosh, I can't draw hands, or, you know, whatever it is. But you need to focus on the 80%. And then the 20% will be ignored. If you can like, as long as the hands are the same size and there's like the right amount of fingers, the right amount of joints, I'm not going to question the hand. I'm not going to nitpick it, but I will nitpick things like, why does she have a hairy arm? Oh, wait, it's a guy. It's a guy, right? Can't tell. I can't tell the gender of this character. But they have a hairy arm. Like, this is the only part of the drawing that's shaded like this. Why? Questions for you. Why? The other thing is, like, let's talk a little bit about local color, okay? So, what color is her jacket? Like, I can't tell. Right now, it looks like it's either on fire, or it looks like it's a black jacket with, like, yellow markings on it, right? Even if there's, like, a raging fire or explosion right next to her, okay? There's still something called local color, which means black is never going to look like this. A black vest, if it was all black, is never, ever going to be this bright. It's not ever going to be as bright as the hair. She's got blonde hair, right? Blonde hair under fire looks pretty orange. Black, though, under fire does not look orange at all. So what are we going to do here? Let's create a, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna fill this with black. I'm just gonna fill it. Let's fill it with this gray color. Okay. And then we'll reduce the opacity a little bit. Like, I think that looks better, right? Like that, at least it looks like, okay, there's a little bit of light on their back, but it's not like on fire, and they're not wearing like a yellow, weird yellow pattern. Also, the shoulder is super awkward, like very, very awkward. I assume this is the back of them. The shoulder, like the way everything's folding here is just like super awkward, but I'm gonna leave it because you said that they are insane and they're like they're kind of bending backwards. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I just wanted to show you what you should really focus on. It's not the hand. It's the local color of things. It's the anatomy of things. And I don't mind the veins. I think they're kind of cool, but they're competing a little. Like this sleeve needs to be solved. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Try to recreate this pose. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to make it realistic, but just like try to recreate it and have somebody take a picture of you in this exact pose from above. Okay, wear a blouse or wear like a tight fitting suit so that at least you can see what correct shoulders look like. And then, and only then, should you mess with them. Okay? Because like there's something wrong there. All right. Otherwise, it's on fire. All right, Teeth. Thank you for submitting. I like the story. Okay. Woo. Who is this Cayla? Cayla G. Cayla G, are you here? Let me know if you're here. I love seeing traditional stuff. Traditional stuff on the channel. So good. I saw some of your other artwork. It's very, you know, you're very good at realistic stuff. And generally speaking, people who are good at realism are not as good as on the conceptual side. And the people who are really good at stylizing and like, you know, coming up with ideas, they need to study realism. So it's a balance here. Okay. So I get that this is for the Christmas contest and it's there's some nice things happening, but there's a big but here. We need to create more contrast. If I put that black and white layer on, I can kind of see that it's a landscape. I see the snowman because the snowman has a lot of contrast. I don't see the horse at all. Like it completely disappears. I see some of the hooves and I'm like, what is that? And then I follow it up. So you need more contrast along the horse if the horse is important. Right now, the most important thing on here is the snowman. This piece is about a snowman right now. It's not about a horse or a person riding into the distance. The Christmas tree looks like it's going to fall over. It's not in the proper perspective. And then like Santa looks like he's climbing a mountain with a mountain goat. Like that looks like a mountain goat. It's got a little beard. It's got like little horns. It's like on top of the mountain here. The sled's going. Like, I don't even see Santa there. Is Santa there? Let's take off that filter. Oh yeah, he's there. He's there. Okay. So this house looks actually pretty decent. The snowman looks pretty cute, except in this angle, the snowman's looking straight up, which means the hat would not stay on. The hat, like, to give you an idea of this perspective, right? The snowman right now from the side is doing this. Right? Like we're looking at it from this angle. And so the hat would be doing this, right? On top of the snowman, right? Because your horizon line is like up here, which means you're looking down at the snowman and the snowman's looking up at me. This eye contact with the snowman, this eye contact is what makes the snowman the hero. Okay? The hat frames the head of the snowman really well. And you know, all that is good. I don't have a problem with the house. I think it looks pretty cool. Although I wonder why it has these like very severe spikes going on here. It's like ready to impale Santa. Like I don't know why it's there. Let's get rid of them. Oh yeah, okay, that looks more like a house. If this is supposed to be a chimney, it should be a little shorter. And there we got a house. Let's see here. What else do we have? Let's take off that black and white filter. Whew. Okay. So, Santa, right now, if Santa was actual size on this mountain, he would be enormous. He'd be huge, like bigger than this house. But I assume that Santa is in the sky. It has nothing to do with the mountain. So, you know, like it would make more sense if it was just a silhouette. Do you guys notice how, you know, in a lot of the depictions of Santa, right? You've got the sleigh, you know, it's like it's in the distance as just like a silhouette, right? You've got the sled, you've got Santa in here, and then you've got the reindeer. Right now, your reindeer looks like a goat just because it happens to be on a mountain, and also it has like a little beard. It doesn't need a beard. And then like look up reindeer references. Okay, they actually have like actual antlers, and they don't have horns. They have antlers. So please look up a reference and make Santa float in the sky, lots of space around here so it's actually clear what's happening, and maybe add some more reindeer because I'm pretty sure Santa has like 8 reindeer or at least more than one, unless it's like the Grinch and his one reindeer. The person on this horse is actually really well drawn, except they're not being seen right now at all. So what you can do is you can go in and do some digital magic, right? So you can take a good picture and create contrast digitally. So all you need to do is select, let's select this. Lightning fast selection here. And we're just going to lighten up the background a little bit. Okay, so here's where you can select everything and then go invert selection. And then you're going to take a light color. So find this gray color, go a little bit lighter. And then use that big airbrush tool and just lighten, create artificial contrast around this person, around the horse. Just like make things lighter around them so that they stand out and make them a little darker. Think about silhouettes. So now I have to go select inverse, and now I'm going to make this person a little bit darker. Okay, and look, they stand out. Not enough, in my opinion. Still not enough, but they stand out better than before. Okay, so right now I'm a little bit confused as to who the hero is in this piece. Like, I don't really know what's happening. Oh, and I just saw the mirror. Okay, I see the mirror now, and I'm like, wait a minute, where was the mirror in this whole thing? I was trying to think, is it the ice? But no, it's here. So if the mirror is the beginning of the story, you need to have more contrast, more emphasis on the mirror. Maybe the mirror is bigger, right? Like, we can make the mirror part of the actual foreground. Like, what if you made the mirror, let's go down here. What if you made the mirror like really big? Right? Like here. Now the mirror is a little bit more visible and a little bit more important. And like here, it's now part of the story, right? Like it's in my face a little bit more. So you need to kind of think about hierarchy. I think that's something that most people don't think about when they think about a composition. I'm gonna write it nice and big for you. Whoops, wrong pen. What is the hierarchy? What are you trying to emphasize? Where do you want me to look first? Right now, snowman is number 1. Number 2 is the house. Maybe I go a Christmas tree and then house because it's like on one path. And then I'm like, okay, there's something over here. I might see the mountains because there's more contrast here. And then I see the goat and the sleigh. And then I see this person. And I have a feeling that the person on horseback is more important than the snowman. Yeah. All right, guys. So, I had a few people lined up. Let's see how many I got through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 more people lined up, but unfortunately, we don't have any more time. We're out of time for this roast. But you know what, guys? I was nice today. I didn't feel like I was too mean. I wasn't in a mean mood because of the spirit of the holidays. If you want to see me be mean, you got to come to my classes. No, I'm just kidding. To everybody who submitted, thank you so much for putting yourself out there, for being brave. You know, the best thing that you can do as an artist is to get constructive feedback from experts, right? Not from your mom, unless your mom is an artist, you know, not from your friends, because they're just going to tell you, oh, it's beautiful. You need somebody to tell you straight. You need somebody to tell you that your reindeer looks like a goat. I'm not going to apologize for that. Anyway, thank you for being good spirits. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your holiday. And if I didn't get to you, post it join the Discord. Let me just like quickly show you who else I had. So if I call your name, JHTD, NerdyMushroom. Oh, NerdyMushroom. I had this all prepped. Oh my goodness, I wanted to help you with this nose. Like, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Everything else is beautifully rendered, but like, oh, her legs look like you copied and pasted it, and they don't look like they're connected to her body. And her nose. Her nose. Gotta help you with that. Gurazu, I think I saw you in the chat, if you're still there. I really like this illustration, and I wanted to give you my feedback on it. But alas, we're out of time. But if you see your artwork here, you have permission to tag me in the critiques channel. We have a members critique, and we also have a something happened, Aldora, to this piece. I don't know why it's so dark. You can tag me, okay? You have permission to tag me, and I will roast you on the Discord because we didn't have enough time. PiggieG, you submitted too late, my friend. But I just wanted to say, from far away, this illustration looks epic. And then, like, ba-boom! Like, what happened to her face? What happened? Oh my goodness, what happened? What happened? I'll help you, I promise. Just tag me. Post these on the Discord. Go ahead and join our Discord. We'll love to see you guys. You have permission to tag me and ask for you to be roasted in the critiques channel, and I will do my very best to help you out. All right. You're on the list. You don't know what happened? Ah! 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 What happened? Oh dear goodness. Okay. So, yeah, I think you need to practice drawing head angles. You can join school. You can join our school for free for 7 days and do the head angle modules, watch the class recordings, and help yourself. But like, you did a lovely animation here. Sadly it's not playing, but like your face angles is ruining your beautiful work. So yeah, get on that ASAP. So what are you guys going to be up to in 2026? I cannot wait for the new year. It's been a rough year. I've broke some bones this year, got just getting over the flu, but really looking forward to next year. I'd like to thank everybody who submitted their wonderful artwork. At Wing Canvas, our mission is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. So join us for free live stream lessons on YouTube every week and level up your skills with our community of art nerds, because we're more than just a YouTube channel. We are an online school of illustration and visual storytelling dedicated to helping artists turn their passion into income. So a huge shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork and watching you grow in art classes and weekly critiques. If you want to dive deeper, you can join our Discord, or you can join our Instagram. You can join our Patreon. We got all the socials here, the social medias, if you want to connect with us. But the Discord's where it's at. It's where our team lives, and it's where you can access our stream notes and demos, exclusive artwork, challenges, and more free resources to help you improve. Just a reminder to join our holiday giveaway on the Discord. That ends tomorrow, and you could win some money for absolutely nothing, just for a click of a button. So I hope to see you there. And thank you to everybody who submitted. You guys were such good sports about all of it. And again, I had over 100 submissions, and I wish I could get to you all. But if you are shortlisted here and I didn't get to you, you have permission to tag me on the Discord. All right, guys. Take care. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'll see you next year. Bye-bye.